Hello everybody, I'm going to show you how to run Python in different manner and what are those manner. So first is to run Anaconda, to install Anaconda. That's one way. It's going to install here, and when you click on Jupyter Anaconda or Jupyter, it's going to open. So this opens Anaconda, and I can see what's inside Anaconda. If I want to run Jupyter directly, I'm going to run Jupyter Notebook, and Jupyter Notebook is going to run. So I have installed the complete Anaconda. So I have a lot of stuff. Now when I wrote Jupyter Notebook, it's going to run at a local host and it's going to come here and I can use this. When I open a file, it gives me an option of different kernels that I can select. Sometimes I have Python 2, Python 3. I can create a different environment and run on that and so on and so forth. So that's one way. We have been using this, but we have been using on Azure Notebook. So if we were to run something, then we would create this Azure Notebook account and we'll have everything here. Now I generally put all of my files uh, inside my Azure Notebook so that you can use it very easily. And the default place for Azure Notebook is where my documents and downloads are there. So the default place for Azure Notebook is C drive, users, my name, and this one. So that's where I have everything for Azure Notebook. So either you can run on Azure Notebook online or you can run locally. One of the other approach that some people would do when you don't want to do that some people install Ubuntu and run it on Ubuntu. Either it's online or it's locally. I've installed Ubuntu on virtual machine uh, to show you this example. Now, some people also use Pycharm. So I'm going to open Pycharm and show you how the same code would work in Pycharm. So when you open Pycharm, Pycharm is an editor. Uh, and most of the people are using editor to write the code and run it. Most of the people who are coming from more of Java background or C++ background, sometimes they prefer Python, Pycharm. It's a it's a text editor which helps us to run all these stuff. So Pycharm is another thing that everybody is using, and many people run Pycharm. It's giving some errors, so probably I'm going to show you the same in another video. So one of the ways in which I would run Pycharm from terminal Ubuntu. If my graphical interface is not running, then I'm going to try to run it from Ubuntu. So that is what sometimes I do. But right now it's giving me some trouble, so I'm going to restart it and probably do it after restarting. The beauty about doing this virtual machine is that if something goes bad, then uh, I can still change it, because when you get an error, although you always create virtual environment while you run anything, when you create when you get some error due to operating system, it's very hard to correct that. Most of the help that is available online assumes that you have an Ubuntu system. So if you're doing something where you're using a lot of packages like Django or Flask or any other complicated packages, it's always recommended to install a virtual machine and run Python on the virtual machine, because if something goes bad on my main computer, then I don't have a lot of options to do that. Although my computer is very fast, so it's much easier to do that, but other than that, it's a little hard one. Pycharm is giving me some error, so I'm going to close this computer. I'm going to start another computer and I'll see if I can run Pycharm on that. So Pycharm is one more way. The other way is to run text editor, which I'm going to show you now. Now text editor, if you want to see Python is installed, you write Python and Python takes you to the Python interpreter with this 3 greater than, which means that Python is installed. Control C gets you out. So if you have a file here, let's create a file there. So if you have a file there in user that you want to change, or rather let me do that on C. So if I want to print something, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say print running from CMD and save this. I'm going to save this in C drive and I'm going to say my first code.py. It says that you have to be the administrator. It's bothering me with that because I did not open this with the admin right. So I'm going to save this on my. Okay. Now I'm going to do dir, and this is the code mypy.txt. So to run it is my python code.py.txt. So let's see, myc.py.txt, and this is the output. So this is running from terminal. You write Python and then you write the name of the text file. Otherwise, many people are using Pycharm as well to run Python, which I'm going to show you now. So Pycharm is installed in your directory and then you run it. It's not installed on this computer. So I'm going to show you Pycharm in one of the other video, but that's a very boring way to run it. I would never recommend anybody using Pycharm to do that. So if this Python interpreter, when I write Python, this is provided by Anaconda, and if I want to run Python 3, which is my default, I would write Python 3 to run it in Ubuntu, and that's why I sometimes prefer Ubuntu because it's much easier to work with Ubuntu. So that was about different ways to run Python. Thank you for watching this video.